last week I was in skiing and I had dinner with some friends of mine, and this one person's wife is working for a company, and I won't tell you the name of the company, but she works with consumers all over the country. So we had a really long discussion about animal agriculture and her thoughts and what she communicates to the consumers and what organization, which is I think around 400 people. So they're very, very active, and I think it's all incumbent upon us to come up with dialogue to, and I don't know how we do it, but as NIAA we'll try to find more ways to communicate that to consumers, because Ron brought up some very good points today, and we're dealing with an industry that has very little knowledge, and those of us that grew up in animal agriculture, we have a different perspective, and as we get that 2% from the 40% that you mentioned, it is a challenge. But as I talked with her, and it went on for maybe 30, 45 minutes, and my son was there, he's a college student, she appeared to have a whole different perspective. She was open. She wasn't one of these closed activist types. She was very consumer education oriented. So I just throw that in. I think it was something that really opened my eyes. So I plan on having her in communication, and perhaps we'll maybe invite her organization to a meeting in the future. So GlobalVetLink began in Ames, Iowa. Just a quick summary of who we are. This was a pilot with the state of Florida, and the first product was certificates of veterinary inspection. We have since expanded to include multiple products. I'm not going to go through all those today. We're going to try to focus on the VFD and the CVI aspect. So diagnostic laboratories are connected, and of course the AquaVet we work with Dr. Scarf and the AquaVet group to add our aquaculture lookup, diagnostic lab lookup system, which still is in existence today. So we want to expand upon that as we expand our diagnostic lab test in the future. We're connected with all 50 states. A lot of animals have moved through our system, and lots of certificates. So we do have a license agreement with all 50 states to make for our system to be officially recognized, and USDA has recognized us officially as a official document for interstate movement. So our products are key products. That HealthLink is our health certificate, eCVI. I'll be talking about the first two. FeedLink is the second one, and that is the product that's been out since about 2008. And ScriptLink is electronic veterinary RX system. EquusLink is our equine system. I'll have an example of that just to show you that connection. So our main points that I wanted to get across here was that in order for this system to be used widely, it needed to be an easy, intuitive online for animal health professionals. And we're enabling animal health professionals to incorporate best practices. So the goal is to have them efficiently complete the compliance process and have that delivered to the people that need it. And that's whether it be state for animal disease traceability, and with the ADT rule for animal disease traceability and terrestrial animals, we've got 7 days from the time that the animals are documented for movement and to the time that that document is supposed to be in the state office. So we do it in real time. So there's no delay, and we exceed the requirements for that part, that ADT rule. Secured repository data so that our data is available and doesn't have to be backed up by states. Our producer, in case of feed mills, with our veterinary feed directive, they have access. Ultimately, we'd have access to it for them, and there's different methods of making that access happen through integration or direct contact, like electronic PDF files, numerous ways that can happen. So bottom line, compliancy, meeting FDA and USDA requirements, as I mentioned, in acceptable levels, 50 states. So this shows you the transition from from a paper, handwritten document that we've all seen to an electronic. And in that case, we're able to capture all the individual IDs. So in the case where finger-licked salmon are identified, electronically identified, if you did want to capture all those through the readers and load those on a certificate, that's also possible. So we can have that data on a document. It could be so for surveillance purposes. You've got aquatic type of disease issue that you're trying to trace down, you can always relate that back to that certificate of movement. And we also have the e-signature, so the document's locked, it's secure. We have a state seal at the top, uniquely identified numbering system for each document. And for our regulation lookups today, Myron's not in the room, right? Yes. Didn't see Myron. We have, we connect with all 50 states. I was going to show the example of Wisconsin, but to keep us brief, I just thought I'd bring up this map. So we can bring anyone that's moving animals to a centralized website today. That's going to change. There's a meeting going on tomorrow that will discuss some other options. But today it brings it to the state's website. We'll be able to bring up the phone number, fax number, the links for that state for regulations. So there's one place to go that's very reliable. So we're trying to get Dr. Forsey's state, gives you his office phone number and website, and we'll be able to link. If there's aquatic regs on the state of Ohio's website, is there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can link right directly to your website and get you to those new requirements. This just shows you an example of an equine side. Photos, just to give you the visualization of moving from a drawing to a photo. Now, you may not be using that in aquatics, but this just shows you another example of how you can communicate more clearly what the requirements are, what the animal identity is. So point, click, and comply were real-time CVI transmissions that for the recorded submittal requirements. So once that document again is submitted, real-time transmission, so for inspection purposes, for viewing, for validation that those animals are certified for entry by regulatory officials, that's what this document would be. Now this is just a fictitious one I made up and added a photo and the ID numbers, so you can see the consignee, consigner. This is just an example of how this can work really with any species that you can come up with. So we have reconfigured our system and we launched our new HealthLink system, which is our CVI system last year that allows us to now include any species that you like. So we're able now to accommodate aquatics where we were not before. So this just gives you an example of where, with paperwork, we're trying to move people to a more efficient way of dealing with this, especially with the state animal health officials, so you don't have to go through lots of drawers and files to find out the original document and be able to decipher what's actually in that document. So the spread of needs of traceback and animal disease outbreak situations, and of course more accurate identification and completeness of the certificate requirements. So the added security watermarks, we have electronic signatures that meet the FDA. So the next few slides I'll be talking about the veterinary feed directive. So we do uniquely meet FDA's CFR 21 CFR Part 11 compliance for security and e-signature. And so that within that realm, we're able to provide a document that has a unique third-party validator of health following the requirements of FDA and USDA, and then also with the 50 state agreements in place. So watermarks and unique parts are added to the document. So as we've all read recently with FDA's received strong industry commitment, this is just in the news on March 26th, for FDA compliance for industry guidance 213. So I think probably everyone in this room has been following this, but I just thought I would bring this up as we are all aware that the over-the-counter drugs, growth promoting labeling is changing, and so we do definitely have a change occurring today in how these products are going to be labeled and what type of guidance they will have fall under within FDA. So with FeedLink is our brand name for veterinary feed directives. The goal is to ease the burden paperwork so that there is a single place to go to log in and to spend less time creating VFDs and reduce the manual inaccuracies that could occur if there's calculations required by concentration per ton of ration or what have you, or in the water, mixed with water. So we provide a reliable and controlled source of documentation, and we prove the compliancy with a secure web-based option. And with the VFDs, we can automatically send these from the veterinarian inspection, and veterinarian creates the document to the feed mills, to the producers. So once they're electronically signed, they can be transferred via GlobalVetLink systems to the appropriate parties. Renewable feature and VFDs, we can create those in a matter of seconds. So you have with an email notification linking to the pre-populated VFDs. So we have the ability to make that happen in a more faster basis on the renewals. And we strengthen the VCPR commitment. So in the cases where these are, if in aquatic medicine, if it does require a veterinarian's oversight, which it has in terrestrials, but this is a method to strengthen the VCPR commitment and provides measurable means to support herd health and disease prevention. So we're really enabling the producer side for aquatics. We'll be able to provide a more complete electronic documents, a secure method, and allow access to the producers. So the feedback application, this is just a screenshot. So it's a one page. We can go in and choose from the address book, and you've got the feed suppliers, feed mills, and the sample information. And again, this is just an example for cattle. So this today is available for swine and for cattle, so we don't have any drugs on here for aquatics yet. So as that's built and validated through an easy access, they're able to create the document very efficiently. And this is the current example for one product that's on the VFD. You probably can't see it in the back of the room, but it will have the information as to the quantity of the product that's being used, the quantity, the number of animals, and number of tons of feed related to that order. And then what makes the certificate authentic, we have an online system. And again, I mentioned the second bullet point on the PKI technology that meets the requirements for FDA. We have a unique ID number. You can always compare if there's a paper document, ability for the animal health officials to validate that online against what's being presented to them. That's what we have within the GlobalVetLink system. So we're at the advantages that we look at would be to standardize, secure, web-based, and replace the antiquated paper-based. For disease issues, quicker containment. When you look at the eCVI aspect of it, for quicker diagnosis of outbreaks, improves clarity of animal identity, and then we can store current tests, vaccinations, other information that are from a regulatory standpoint. So we truly have a passion for improving animal health. We've been doing this for going on 15 years, and we have conversion rate is growing faster from paper to electronic, and we find that with younger vet students, we're doing more to help educate them. Heather's here with our marketing team and helping to improve our education process and communication from vet students all the way into the vet practices, so they can bring some unique talents to a vet practice for efficiency, and that's really helping to gain traction within our space. The 50-state standardized model has worked, and we're continuing to reinvest in the platform. We launched a new platform last year, and we're continuing to reinvest to add more features that you'll be hearing about soon. Integration into state data systems. We currently do integrate with USA Herds. We're going to be integrating with more. So those of you that are USA Herds states, you know that that's occurring, and we're going to be adding more features for importing. Laboratory connectivity is 130 plus and growing. Improvement of data quality and protection of animal health and well-being. I see that the well-being aspect is something that I personally am passionate about. I think that that's something that as you brought up, Owen, just the misperception of how animals are raised, and we heard this morning there's opportunities down the road for all of us to do a better job and help communicate that more clearly to others. So one last point here I wanted to just bring up is that we're reducing the regulatory administrative resources. And we know most state animal health officials in this room continue to work with budgets that are strained, and so we're trying to provide tools that leverage your ability within an electronic system to do your job better and to be able to address issues with more efficiency. The aquaculture VFDs and CVIs complement the AquaVetMed search tool. There's a website, of course, AquaVetMed. If you go to AquaVetMed, you'll see the laboratory Lookup for that's sponsored by GlobalVetLink as a partner with AquaVetMed. And we expand, last point, we do expand our 50-state animal industry platform to an enhanced sustainable platform because we're continuing to add more features. We aren't a CVI company or VFD company only. We have multiple attributes that are being added to validate and document animal health.